Hello everyone, this is Jin, a TCM practitioner and instructor in Victoria, BC, Canada. Here is my online class for pathology. This class is specially for TCM students. The book we used I put below here. I hope I can help the students to study and review for the class. Okay, let's start.
It's a special kind of arthritis. We say arthritis will cause by different reasons, but we just talking about a special kind of arthritis. This arthritis is caused by immunity disorders. So still, we're talking about systemically. That means go to all our body's joints and chronic inflammation. Yeah, chronic inflammation. When we talking about the inflammation before, we talking about will be have runny, swollen, and maybe painful. So we have some special kind of clinical symptoms about inflammation. So that kind of illness still have similar clinical symptoms. And this illness mainly happens in the joints. That's why we call it arthritis. But it is still possible affected other tissues, not only in the joints, mainly. And locally, we talk about the swollen and painful, sometimes cause the deformed of the joints. And because they damage like the joints cartilage. So still remember. I think we have pictures. So that's our normal joints here. On this side, this side is normal joints. So the joints, we say, when we talk about the joints, we have two different kind of joints. One kind of joint is directly connected. One kind of joint is indirectly connected. So the joints on the hand and on the limbs is indirectly connected joints. So basically like this. So we have superficial covered by the cartilage. And then we have two layers of membrane cover the cartilage. And we have a space, between and a little bit liquid in the space. So that's normally of our joints. Like the picture here. So this side is the normal joints. This side is normal joints. You can see the superficial very smoothly there. Yeah, very clear. And the other side, we're talking about the arthritis types. You can see all of the joints, they got some changing. So we pick up one joint and make it enlarging here, but it generally happens for all of the joints. We're talking about these arthritis will affect all our body's joints. So you can see it losing the smoothly superficial here. Basically, autoimmune symptoms they producing some antibodies. They will against the joint cartilage, like they eating the cartilage there, and certainly they also damage superficial membrane there, and thus make the joints losing their normal shape, and certainly gradually they will losing normal function. So that's on this side is the thick joint. Yeah, it's the thick joint. When joints some damage inside, that we say will cause the whole hand, like each of the joints, they have some division in there, some damage in there, and the whole hand, you can see the shape will be changing, and certainly the function will be changing also. So that's basically happens for the arthritis. And this kind of changing can happen in other arthritis, but most severe in autoimmunity kind of disorder called arthritis. So that's we talking about some information there, and some part like they destroyed some part of the cartilage, and they try to, when we talk about healing before, they try to healing by itself. So that's part of damage, part of healing, and then they cause the shape of the joint changing there. Then we're still talking about pathology changing. So basically, this slide we say already, it belongs to autoimmunity disorder. So the reason cause it, still not totally known yet. So why cause it this arthritis? It's not clear. So some illness with very clear the reasons, like pneumonia. We clear the reason may be caused by virus infection, may be caused by bacterial infections. That kind of illness, they are clear. The reason causing. Some of the illness, they are not clear. Some of the illness are not clear. So we still say maybe relationship with some genetic reason. So that's usually we're talking about in family members, they have more chance got the same illness. Like the mom or dad side have this kind of arthritis. Their children will have more chance to get it. And the others, we're talking about environmental reason. Environmental reason, we talked about before, like some radiations, and even sometimes we talk about pollution and some kind of changing in there, even some chemical reasons or weather changing, more dampness, more cold environments that will be caused. And the immunity system disorder. So that's up to now, we're thinking about something relationship with it, but not truly clear yet. Then we're talking about clinical symptoms. So clinical symptoms, we say this kind of arthritis will happen in all of the body, lot of joints. It's not only single joint. So clinically, if you see some people have single joints, like a painful in there, or even deviation in there, but other joints is totally fine, certainly it's not belong to this kind of arthritis. So this kind of arthritis, because it belongs to immunity system disorder, so that will against all our body's joints. So that's this one. And other symptoms, So mainly symptoms, swollen and deviation of the joints, and painful, and losing function. And other symptoms is generally weakness, and possible little low degree kind of fever, generally weakness. People feel sick, so that's mainly happens in the joints. And we say joint inflammation and cause generally body's weakness and fever and other symptoms. So joint part, mainly symptom happen first. People feel their joints pain and stiffness of the joints. That's the mainly happens first. And this kind of arthritis especially happens in the morning. Time. People feel stiffness of joints. Let it be more painful in the morning, more stiffness in the morning. And after they move, like in the daytime, they got some kind of movement, and then they feel better. But the next morning, all the symptoms come back again. And a severe kind of case, like it gradually developed. We say that's chronic illness. And gradually getting worse, Then we can find the joints, enlarging the joints, and deform the joints, and movement limited, and more stiffness, So that's basically for this illness.